For this edition of OKC Central, I'm merely Dave Morris alongside Steve Lackmeyer, and we are happy that Phalanx Logistics is sponsoring these clips. We have some interesting information, especially if you're entering downtown Oklahoma City off that 6th Street exit. You're going to see this thing, the Flatiron building under construction. Mr. Lackmeyer here has an update for us.
Yes, Rand Elliott, the architect that designed this building, as well as developer Chuck Ainsworth, made an appearance between the Urban Renewal Authority this morning because it is an urban renewal project, that block. As we know, the front half of the block has an old, decades-old Flatiron building that's currently being renovated for the future headquarters of Plico. They're proposing the second phase, which is an 8-story building, and they've already had quite a few changes just in the last week. They had some suggestions by RTKL, the design and planning firm that consults urban renewal. And among the changes they've made is they've doubled the amount of windows on the sides of this building. They've also created a space for a potential coffee shop, a retail space. Not very big, but big enough for that sort of use.
So it goes from just Plico to mixed use.
Yeah, well, you'd have offices likely on the top 5 stories of this 8-story structure.
The existing building is what, 3 stories?
It is 2 stories with the 3rd story being added.
Okay, but now they're taking it up even further.
Oh yeah, this 8-story building though, one of the criticisms or concerns cited was that street level wasn't very friendly. It was all parking. So what they're doing now is they're adding a coffee shop on the 1st floor facing Walnut Avenue, where it goes past 6th, Harrison and all that, 5th. So that really got a good reception at Urban Renewal this morning. Another design feature we've not seen until today is this building will light up at night. Very dramatic lighting, celebratory lighting as Rand calls it. It can go multiple colors, much like Devon Tower does, or the Skydance Bridge.
Steve, I know you're a big fan of neon lights.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. And to have that at the gateway to downtown, this is really the major entryway to downtown, hooks up what's been known as Health Sciences area, now being rebranded as the Innovation District. You have Auto Alley it goes into, Deep East, Bricktown, CBD. It is a big time entrance that's about to change. Now there are a couple of things that we've got to wait.
I was about to ask, what's next?
Well, they've got to find a tenant before they build. It's not a spec project. So Ainsworth is saying that while it was great to get approval of this design today, they still need to go to Downtown Design Review and get their approval, and they'll have to get a tenant. But Class A office space downtown remains very tight.
Let me ask you about that. In the building we're talking about, you've seen it before. It's this wedge-shaped building. It's like, now we're talking layer cakes, adding to the layers. Who would be a company that could potentially go there?
Well, that's a good question. You know, we saw Crowe and Dunleavy Law Firm move out of 20 North Broadway as Continental continued to expand, and Crowe and Dunleavy, a law firm, moved into the Braniff building and filled it up, which was a great addition because it allows Continental to grow. And Crowe and Dunleavy is about as stable a tenant as you can get. It's been around for maybe a century. I mean, it's not going anywhere. Attorneys will always be with us. So there are firms like that, Leadership Square, elsewhere, and there are firms that want to come in and they're not finding the kind of space they want.
Class A office space.
So this could be an option for them. It could be a whole new startup or a couple of firms that take that space. We don't know. Chuck Ainsworth doesn't know that, and that's the big caveat on this. They're prepared to do this. They're very serious.
Mr. Ainsworth is doing his exploration, right?
Yes.
His due diligence.
Yes.
Wasn't this building supposed to have a rooftop?
Yes, it does.
Does it still have that?
Yeah, so on this 8-story building, you've got the parking garage. It's on the first 2 floors, and it extends out to the street. And the office floors on top of it kind of comes in a little bit. So in these renderings, you see this whole patio area that is on the 3rd floor on top of the parking decks. And it will have a gorgeous view of downtown and Bricktown skyline. And I will also say that you've got some nice sidewalk space they're planning as well. Another change they made in response to RTKL is they're putting up permanent concrete brick planter boxes facing the street. So it will separate the sidewalk from the street, create a comfort zone for pedestrians, and they're committing to putting some sidewalk table areas there, especially if there's a coffee shop. So this really tries to address the concern about it being dead at street level.
Very good. Steve Lackmeyer with this update here on OKC Central, brought to you by our friends at Phalanx Logistics. We appreciate their sponsorship. Steve, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.